Hey Chef, welcome back to another video. I have a bunch of plant chores that I need to get done today, mainly watering of my upstairs plants on my plant shelf, but I'll be adding some fertilizer into the water today. It is early fall, it's the beginning of September, so I thought this would be a good time or opportunity to talk about how my plant care routine changes as we get a little bit closer to winter here, so just kind of that early fall. So I'll talk about how my watering and fertilizing and all that kind of changes as winter approaches. I should also talk about my shirt. About a year ago, I asked my family to buy me like a crazy plant shirt, and this is what they came up with for a Father's Day gift. It's basically just a couple leaves and then some crazy pink flamingos. Not something that I typically wear, but I actually really like this shirt. So with that out of the way, let's talk about fertilizer. I do fertilize my houseplants in kind of the early fall. This will be the last feeding I give before winter approaches and we get all that crazy snow and stuff here on the Canadian prairies. So I'm gonna try and explain this the best I can without making it confusing. Houseplants need fertilizer, they need nutrients through the spring and summer months. That's when they are growing most, they're most active. And the reason for that is you have to kind of think of it as plants needing three ingredients: sunlight, water, and nutrients. So as spring and summer approaches, the days get longer, the plant absorbs more sunlight, it has longer duration of sun, so it uses that sun's energy along with carbon dioxide, water, to produce carbohydrates in order for it to grow. Now, once you get closer to fall, the days get shorter. So right now, obviously the sun's setting much earlier. Decreased sunlight means you have to decrease watering, and obviously I cut out fertilizer through the winter months. With my plants downstairs, they are primarily under artificial light. So these are all grow lights, so they consistently get the same amount of light each day. I have them on timers. They get about 14 hours of bright light. Their conditions never change. I basically pay attention to not only the soil of each plant, but also the leaves. So say for instance, succulents, you should not be able to squeeze or fold a jade leaf. Now, that's how I determine if it needs water in the summer, but I also can use that technique throughout the winter as well. As soon as I am able to squish or fold a succulent leaf without it getting the kind of wrinkly dehydrated, then I'll give it some water. Now, obviously the frequency of watering is less, but also the amount of water I give it is a little bit less as well. With my jade plant in the summer, I will just continuously soak it, probably like 3 or 4 times until the entire soil is saturated. I'll let it completely dry out, and I won't give it any water until the soil's dry and the leaves are a little bit squishy or bendable. Now with winter, the frequency is much less than summer, so I might water once a week or once every 2 weeks in the summer. That's kind of bumped back to about once a month. And again, I just pay attention to the leaves. And that can be said for a lot of other types of plants as well. This can be applied to Hoyas, peace lilies, everything. They just pay attention to the leaves. They might get a little bit droopy, they might feel a little bit thinner. So that's a good way to determine whether your plant needs water or not in the winter months. Hope everyone has reached this part of the video and I didn't bore anyone with that other stuff. Okay, so this is the fertilizer that I use for basically all of my houseplants, all my tropical plants. I've even started using these for my succulents. It is Dynagrow Foliage Pro. The NPK, the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium level is 936. I follow the directions on the back of the container, and I'll kind of run through that briefly here. So there is basically 2 different types of fertilizing measurements, I guess. The first one is the maintenance, and it says mix 1/4 teaspoon of Foliage Pro per gallon of water. So 1 gallon for us people with the metric system is just under 4 liters. So just basically like a milk jug is how I measure my, I guess, water. And it says apply every watering. So 1/4 teaspoon in milliliters is just over 1 millimeter. So for the maintenance dosing, I will take like a little Tylenol syringe and I'll pull up like, I think it's 1.2 mils. So the other dosing is the production dosing. It says mix 1 teaspoon of Foliage Pro per gallon of water. So again, 4 liters of water, and apply it weekly, or 2 teaspoons and apply every 2 to 4 weeks. So When I start fertilizing in the springtime, I will always cut the dosage in half. So I've been using the production dose, and just reading it right now, I've been doing it wrong. I've been applying the 1 teaspoon per gallon of water, but I've been watering once a month. So I should have been actually adding 2 teaspoons and watering every 2 to 4 weeks. So got that wrong, but that's not a big deal. So what was I even talking about? I lost my train of thought. I actually have to go back and review the footage of what I was talking about. So in the springtime, when I give the first fertilizer for my houseplants, I'll cut the dosage in half. That's what I was talking about. And then like throughout the summer months, I will just follow the directions on the back and give it kind of that full dose. Now in the fall, like I am going to be doing today, I will again cut that dosage in half, just so it's not as strong, just because the plant growth cycle is starting to slow down. So I'm just gonna give it a little bit of nutrients in the water today. So if you give it too much, or if you give it a full dose, you run the risk of possibly burning the roots. Now you can just use the milk jug just to fill up your watering can, and you can water as per normal, which I'll be doing here shortly. Now, the last thing that I have to talk about before we actually get to the plant chores is the difference between the maintenance and the production dosing. The maintenance, like the lesser amount, but more frequently, so you water it every week. This is good, and I will actually be switching to this just because I have a ton of houseplants and I can't remember all of them which have gotten monthly waterings. So it's really difficult for me to keep track of all the plants that I gave water to. So it's much easier for me to follow the maintenance dosing and just add a small amount of fertilizer to the water for all my plants for every watering. I'm gonna try that out next year as opposed to the monthly. And that's what the production method is just if you prefer to fertilize your houseplants at certain times, like maybe every 4 to 6 weeks, then use the production dosing of the fertilizer. I actually have these on my Amazon Canada and US stores. I'm gonna have to check to see if the product is still available. So in the description of this video, you'll find the links to the Amazon pages. You can check it out. There is 2 different sizes. There's this larger jug, and then there is a smaller, this is 8 ounces, and I believe this is 44. So get a cute little jug and a large jug. This is my fernleaf cactus. It is super dry right now. So I just water like I normally would. Just fill it up and let it drain through. This is such a cool jungle cacti or cactus. See how fast that's draining through. That's exactly what I want. It's already coming out the bottom. I'm gonna give it one more soaking here. Downstairs here, I try and keep my humidity around the 60 or more percent. Now that the cooler temperatures are starting to flow into where I live, the humidity is dropping. So throughout the summer, it's been around 60, 65 without having to run any humidifiers, but today it's 56%, 21 degrees downstairs. So the humidity is quickly dropping. I use 2 humidifiers, this larger one. Oops, just turn it off. I have it on the medium setting right now, and it's getting my light. Just gonna move that out of the way. This is a really good humidifier for like a larger area of plants, and I have a smaller one down there, and it just provides some floor type humidity as well. I do use a fan for air circulation down here. I just moved it a little bit closer. This helps with just circulation with humidity and that sort of thing. So I just love the way this larger sensation peace lily looks when the when the leaves are shimmering in the wind. So this is kind of my basement setup. Got all my plants on planks down there, my larger peace lily, my little work table, and my shelf and all my grow lights. These are my new little studio lights that I bought for my YouTube channel. Just gives me a little bit more light in this area as it's quite dark in the basement. So these are all growing under artificial lights. Here's my newest plant from North Shore Tropicals. Okay, so this one, the weight of the pot is much heavier, soil looks saturated. Okay, let's see if there's any other. Here's my Burl Marks philodendron. This one, got it in like a little plant auction for pretty cheap. It was variegated at one point, but it has since reverted. And yeah, same thing. Just give it some water. I like watering my plants outside in the summer. It's just easier to use the garden hose and spray off the leaves and just give it a really good soaking, but that's slowly coming to an end. This morning outside, like our temperatures are still kind of in the low 20s for this type of year here where I am. But this morning it was 4 degrees. That was pretty chilly. I have an Anthurium. This is my Anthurium. The leaves are all messed up on this one. The newest leaf has come out really nice. The reason why I had a little bit of a deformed leaf is basically one of two reasons, either the kind of inconsistent watering or it can actually be caused by a pest issue. So when this leaf was forming, I actually had thrips on a few plants downstairs here, which I've since eradicated, hopefully. And the newest leaf, in conjunction with knowing how to properly water an Anthurium, I've been top dressing with sphagnum moss, and that just helps keep in the moisture. And all the newest leaves on like all of my Anthuriums have been coming out just absolutely gorgeous. So I know how to water my Anthurium when the sphagnum is crispy. Like, I don't know if you can hear it. It's really crispy, so usually I'll spray it down with my spray bottle, but today I'm going to be giving it some fertilizer as well. So I just water like I normally would. Just kind of soak it and let it drain through. And that's all I do for my Anthuriums. And then I will wait till the moss dries out again, and then I'll just obviously feel the weight of the pot and give it some more water once the moss is dry. I just watered this peace lily, but I went camping last week and I came back and all of these leaves were just flopped over. So I'm actually going to cut off a few of these yellow leaves underneath here. Just like that. This is the domino peace lily, and these leaves are just gorgeous. Just a slight little white variegation on them. I'm going to cut these flowers off too, actually, because it looks like they're slowly dying back as well. Just let it focus its energy on new leaves. Let me know down in the comment section if you guys use grow lights for like dark areas, or if you have plants in your basement. Let me know what you use. My favorite grow light right now is the Soltech Aspect grow light. This thing is just absolutely amazing. Look at my pothos and my Cebu Blue or Cebu Blue, some other pothos down there. It's just doing wonderfully. These plants absolutely love it. I wish I had a few more, but if you are interested in a Soltech light, you can use a discount code everything15 for 15% off of, I believe it's anything on their website. So if you're interested in the Soltech grow light, I highly recommend it. They're a little bit on the pricier side, but I look at it not as just a grow light, but it's like home decor. So it's marketed for that kind of higher end grow light look, and not these like clunky utility lights, which I absolutely hate. So I wish I had more of these grow lights, because my plants just absolutely love it. So if you want 15% off, just use everything 15. And yeah, from using these, definitely my favorite grow light. Okay, the last little flower. Okay, I'm gonna leave these ones for now. Actually, I'll cut this one off. There. Okay, and we'll let that heal up. I think that's all. Everything else I watered. Oh, here. Here's my Friedek. It's got a new leaf. This new leaf just unfurled. This one is dropping off. I'm just gonna, so it's pretty much all yellow. I just like to tear these guys off. Just like that, it's just a nice clean tear. Look at this newest Alocasia cuprea leaf. It is getting massive. Well, not massive, but it's definitely sizing up. This one is still hardening off. Here's the last one. And this newest one is still getting larger. Like it's about the size of my hand now. All these plants that I have down here, I watered a couple days ago. Here's where I keep my varicosum. Here is, I believe this is a splendid, and I have another one down here as well. Monstera, obviously. Here's my larger Anthurium brownii. Ooh, look at this. New philodendron SP silverleaf. This is the first one since I've had it in my care. I'm so excited about that. Here is my El Chaco red. It's looking fantastic. There's a Ploumanii. Here's my little moss pole philodendron Tahiti. Here's my majestic back there from At Her Plant Stories. She just started a YouTube channel, so go check her out if you don't already follow her. Here is my Cercistus mirabilis. Still hasn't given me a new leaf. It looks awesome, but I have not gotten a new leaf on this one yet. I can't remember the name of this Anthurium. This is a newer one. Whoops, whoa. What is this one again? Marmoratum. That's what it is, I forgot. And here is a Gloriosum. And then this is a new plant from North Shore Tropicals. This is the Gloriosum Dark. I'm not seeing any, well, maybe a little bit, but as it matures, I'm sure we'll see a little bit more of the darker leaf. But yeah, everything down here is looking really good. I gotta fill up my humidifier here as well. Okay, now I'm upstairs. Now I'm just going to run through some of the stuff on my plant shelf. I watered my Monstera silvipicana this morning. I did not give it any fertilizer. Everything on the shelf is just doing so good. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a little bit of fertilizer. I'll bring it over to the sink. I'm just gonna give this one just a little bit because I already, like I said, watered it, but I'm just gonna give it a little bit of fertilizer. Just let that drain through. When I walk plants back to the plant shelf, I like to plug the hole with my finger so I don't get water all over the floor. And we'll put it back on the shelf. I took my golden pothos that I have in my wally grow out for a good spray this morning. With Hoyas, I really pay attention to the leaves, like I was explaining earlier. I feel the leaves to feel if they're squishy or if they're really thin. This Hoya feels pretty good. Did I give this? Yeah, I gave this. This is my kind of mixed pot of pothos. There's some neon, some golden, there's jade pothos. Looks like a marble queen back there. This one I watered, so I don't need to give it any water. Here's my Peperomia quadria angularis, or the beetle, Peperomia beetle. I watered that one as well. I didn't give it any fertilizer, but I'm gonna leave it alone for now. Here is my Hoya parasitica. Okay, see if I can get it off the shelf without pulling plants down. Look at that. I have ripped a few of these plants off the wall here. I like to spray it off with the hose here, just cleaning the leaves. Whoops. And then I'll take it back inside and give it some fertilizer. Spray it back there as well. Just let that drain through. And then just give it some some water and fertilizer. It's coming through the bottom already. Okay, next up is the Cebu Blue. I'm not fertilizing outside here just because I don't want all the water and fertilizer to go on my deck here. Just because my dogs come out and they like to drink from the hose and they lick up the water from the deck. Actually, I should go get them. Okay, come on. Oh, you're gonna lick the water, aren't you? Pickles likes to drink the hose water. Oh, you're coming up? Coming up for some water? Hey, I know. Okay, let's do. This is your thing, hey? Ready? You gonna drink it? You guys haven't been in any videos for a while, hey? I know, you're a good boy. You too, Pickles, where are you? Hey, you're a good girl, come here. You're a good girl, I know. Watch, if I put the hose up like this, he likes to lick the dripping water. He's already going to it. He's so funny. Here, you want a little bit? He has a water dish. Like, I don't know why he's just obsessed with this hose. You too. You're obsessed. You need a haircut. You're obsessed with the hose. I don't have it. I know what you're looking for. You're looking for your toy. I don't have it. We lost it. What? Do you want the ball? Here, this is Oscar's ball. Oh geez, here's a couple little squished strawberries. My daughter picked some strawberries there and I guess we left them. Okay, ready? Oh, look at your face. Oscar, look at your face. You got water all over it. Okay, ready? So this is typically how I fertilize. I will give maybe a little bit of water first and then I will add the fertilizer in afterwards and just kind of let it drain out the bottom of the drain hole. That way I'm not using like twice as much of the water and fertilizer. Okay, ooh, this is dirty. I gotta get a cloth. For a lot of these smaller pots, I was just bringing the watering can over and I'll just soak it. That one is okay. This Hoya, you can see the soil. Oh my goodness, my shelf is disgusting. I'm gonna bring the watering can over for this Hoya as well as my Walliana, and then the Enjoy. It's not looking the greatest, but give that one some water. This one, that one feels damp. My Finlay Sonii. Okay, everything's just getting tangled here. It's getting a couple of new leaves on this one. And then down here is my Alocasia Myrface, or the Sinuata. Gets a little bit of morning direct sunlight. This is a south-facing window. Here's the Frydek. This looks like the newest leaf. And then here's my Dragon Scale. So yeah, everything on the plant shelf is doing good. Got a little bird's nest sansevieria down here. Here's my little chopped up Aglaonema, the Cutlass, and the Christina Marie. Got my Raven ZZ down here. That one's a little bit dusty. I'm gonna have to spray that one off. And then here's my Jades, the newest leaf on the Silver Dragon. This one is my Perlite Alocasia. Just watered this one yesterday too. Look at all those roots. I am so impressed with, ooh, it looks like it's getting root bound. I am so impressed with this just straight perlite. And here's what I was talking about with my jade plant. This is my jade cutting that I took about 5 years ago. Looks like it's getting a few leaves that are turning yellow. That's okay. Just throw those away. Everything is getting really nicely sun stressed right now, just since the fall here. Oh, there's a ladybug. Okay, so the way I tell whether my succulent needs to be watered or not is, like I said, by the leaves. And you should not be able to bend a succulent leaf like this. It's not actually too bad. Definitely needs some water, but you should not be able to fold a succulent leaf like this. So this one definitely needs to be watered. I'm gonna give it some fertilizer here as well. This is what a jade leaf should look like. It's nice, firm, plump. Everything looks really good. Same with this one. It's a little bit dehydrated. Needs some water. This one I watered yesterday. So you can see you can't fold them. Same with this Golem Jade. This one's a little bit more difficult to tell because they have thinner leaves, but it's not looking shriveled or dehydrated, but few leaves are turning yellow, so I just like to pluck those off. Forgot to show, this is my little Alocasia Hylo Beauty. Not doing so good, but it's basically lost its leaves twice now, and you can see there is a new growth point, and I attribute that to me under watering. I let this one get too dry, and then it drops its leaves, and then I give it some water, and eventually it comes back. The Sinuata, it's damp. The Frydek, I'm definitely gonna have to repot this into something a little bit larger. This is way too small for this. It dries out too fast. And actually, I'm gonna go do that now. Okay, I grabbed a little bit of a larger pot for this Frydek here, and this soil mixture is just a combination between a Pro Mix's tropical plant mix and some orchid bark. Just gonna squeeze this. I'm gonna keep everything intact if I can. Looks like it's gonna stay that way. It's not root bound or anything like that. Maybe just starting to encircle the bottom. Nothing crazy though. Just gonna loosen this up just with my pencil, just so they're not encircling the bottom. That's all I'm gonna do. Just something like that. Size this up. And then just, I'm gonna add a little bit of soil on the bottom. Making sure this leaf is wanting to pull the entire plant to one side, so I'm gonna make sure that it's potted straight up. I'm gonna give this plant some water, but I'm not gonna be using the water that I have upstairs with the fertilizer in it. Most commercial soils, or most commercial bought soil, it'll have, I think upwards of like 3 months of fertilizer in the soil already, so I don't wanna be giving it too much fertilizer. Just check the packaging of whatever soil that you use, and it'll tell you whether it is, or it has fertilizer in there. I usually take most of my houseplants to my bathroom over here, just in my small shower, and then I'll use my spray bottle to spray it off, but it's absolutely filthy in there right now, so I'm just gonna use this spray wand just to soak the soil. And a lot of times I will spray off the leaves as well. But I'm gonna make a complete mess on this table. Good enough. It's nice having this larger spray bottle just to walk around and spray down all my plants on planks as well. I think I picked this up from like Canadian Tire for like $20. And you can store it all fancy. Okay, that should be good. I'm gonna try something here. I'm gonna use a little plant tie and just tie all these leaves together, see if it stays more upright. There, actually that will be don't fall. I don't even know where my watering can is, that's why I just wanted to show my little watering bottle here anyways. Okay, it's slowly tipping over. That's why I like to soak the soil and then kind of pack it down just so that the plant doesn't flop over, because I've had plants fall out of pots before. Like a long time ago, obviously. Oops. Okay, that ain't going anywhere now. I'm gonna keep this little plant tie on the leaves here, see if that helps it look a little more fuller. Something like that. Bring this guy just like that. Got my little plant chair. This is super handy. It's actually been holding a couple plants in the corner here for a little while, but got rid of some plants today, gave them to a plant friend. And now I'm going to water my jade. This will probably be one of the last good soakings before winter. It is still pushing out growth, so everything looks really good. I got all these little tiny leaves, so that's why I'm giving this one some fertilizer. Anytime the soil's a little bit slower draining, I like to go, ooh, this feels like lots of roots. What is going on? This soil's really hard. I just like to poke holes in it. Holy smokes, this is hard. Okay, so it definitely needs a good watering. Okay, just gonna rotate it here a little bit. Just like aerating your lawn, just poke some holes in it. That way the water has a spot to go down and soak the soil. Oh, look it. I found another ladybug. Oh, and there's another one right there. Two little guys crawling around. Okay, this is rock hard. Oh, and here's another one. My daughter likes to bring them in the house. Helps me with my plant pests. This will probably need to be repotted in some fresh soil in the springtime. It's pretty hard. Well, actually, it's very hard. It's very compact, but I'll probably repot this in the spring. But otherwise, I'll just keep watering it. Hopefully, it can kind of soak up that moisture. So I think that's going to be pretty much it for this video. If you have any comments or questions, please leave it down below in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this little chores / fertilizer type video. Thanks again for watching. Take care, everyone. Bye.